I was all set to upload an excerpt from this afternoon's live stream, you know, about this right here. So definitely stick around for that one. I will be uploading that sometime. When Kathleen Kennedy decided to say that old Star Wars is for 50. Oh, of course it is. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42. There it is. The one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. Not in the middle of a live stream, for one. This comes as absolutely no surprise. This just confirms everything that we've been saying. This is a post from our good buddy Ichibaka, who does a lot of the research and definitely deserves a lot of credit. Between Ichibaka and Data Racer 117, those are the investigative journalists of the Fandom Menace. Kathleen Kennedy, old Star Wars is for 50-somethings. And here's a tweet from Real Amanda Ward, who has me blocked on Twitter. I've been blocked on Twitter from this woman for a couple of years now. She used to be associated with making StarWars.net, StarMakingWars.net, used to be married to Jason Ward. Something happened, I don't know. I don't pay attention to this stuff because I don't care what people who are trying to market Star Wars to me really say about news, because 9 times out of 10, to me anyway, it feels like it's an advertisement, especially if you're somebody whose job it is to just promote Star Wars in a positive light for access to Star Wars, to access to the stars, to people like Kathleen Kennedy. This article is really great. Definitely check this out. Former Disney World VPN Kathleen Kennedy pushed for the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to be based on the sequel trilogy. Well, this comes as no surprise to anybody who's been to Galaxy's Edge, watched any video about it, anything like that. That no, they did not want it to be the original trilogy, because what's current? What's the current generation of people going for? They're going for the new generation of Star Wars, and that is what people like J.J. Abrams can get money from for marketing the toys for the new Star Wars. At least that's my opinion, that people like J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy and the current people involved in the current films get a much higher percentage, especially if it's a character they create, like a BB-8 or a Dio or a Porg, which I do like the porgs. They're so cute. They're little cute faces. They're cute like baby Yodas. The point is, you're going to get a higher percentage if you push the new stuff versus the old stuff. Because who gets the money from the old stuff? What, George Lucas, his ex-wife? So, of course, they want to push the new stuff. They're going to get a higher profit from it. Former Walt Disney World VPN Dan Cockrell is breaking his silence about what exactly went down with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge behind the scenes. And it's not going to make a lot of disgruntled Star Wars fans happy to know what could have been. Oh, see, I've already divorced myself from Star Wars with, yeah, there's a lot of could have beens, but everything could have been so much better up until the point where Carrie Fisher passed. And then after that, it was a little bit too late for that, in my opinion anyway. And they really did mess up big time. They did. All for what? Corporate greed? For this new agenda that nobody cares about? Just for what? To impress a bunch of other people in Hollywood? So you gotta go around proving how not Istonphobic you are by literally telling people like me, like women, that our opinions don't matter as much, going to insulting us to our face. This is why I did a video on this one. It turns out that yes, Disney was originally designing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to be based upon the Mos Eisley spaceport on Tatooine, complete with Cantina, now Oga's Cantina, and likely Docking Bay 94, now Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. We kind of figured that, because it looks like Tatooine when you kind of look at it, but then not. It's like the Star Trek stuff again, where we have actual evidence that Star Trek needs to be 25% different according to production notes. This is from a Birmingham Destination Star Trek, where it says, "Hi Scott, sorry, this too was part of the 25% difference between the two ships." Now this is in reference to the Enterprise, where they were making it 25% different for their own production for whatever reason, whether they had to because of legal reasons. I doubt that. I believe, in my opinion, it was more so that they could sell a ship under this new production company coming in, and this is exactly the same type of thing in Star Wars. They have a new production company coming in, even though it's still under Lucasfilm. Now you have Bad Robot attached to that. And what does Bad Robot do, or Secret Hideout? They come in and they put their name on new merchandise merchandise, new characters. We already know J.J. Abrams designed D.O., so he could have a droid that he gets merchandising rights for. Same thing with BB-8. He did that again in the other thing. This is part of it because they know darn well that George Lucas got a buttload of money off of toys. And at least Rian Johnson did one thing right, and he sold me porgs. He sold me a lot of porgs. I will take all unused and unloved and unwanted porgs. I have a P.O. box for that. If you guys want to contribute to the Porg Sanctuary, I do have a problem with that. They're cute. I can't help it. Oh, they're like little turkey ducks. They're so cute with big dumb faces. Like kitty faces almost. They're so sweet. How greedy and insulting is that they have to go in and push all this new crap just so it's so different that they can sell it? That's one reason. I think that's one of them. So yes, I believe some of this is probably for the merchandising and toys and everything else that they can sell with this. I also believe that the other part of why it's so different and so messed up is because Miss Kathleen Kennedy had to come in and say, oh, no, this is for the women's. We need Star Wars for women. Actually, she sounds more like, and we need Star Wars for women because, sip. Star Wars, we need a bunch of menders so it can be as good as Rey and be a Jedi from Thing.
You can't stop me, I'm a Jedi from Jakku.
That's my Kathleen Kennedy impression. Seriously, they like to think they're so much more superior to people by telling us that, oh no, we're speaking for you. You're not good enough to have a voice of your own unless we, the people of Hollywood, have this voice for you. And that's one of my biggest issues with this whole modern agenda crap in Star Wars. Now, if you want to check out the entire interview that they're quoting this from, you can check it out here on the Walt Disney World Radio, number 585, Untold Stories of Walt Disney World with former VP Dan Cockrell. So that is where all of this is coming from. Also, a really good site that Ichibaka pulled this from is right here. This one, the Pirates and Princesses blog site, I believe. Former Disney World VP Kathleen Kennedy pushed for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to be based on the sequel trilogy, which is a terrible, terrible idea. Come on, we had perfectly good Star Wars that people actually really, really liked. People of all walks of life. It was for everybody. It was not just specifically for guys. It wasn't specifically for girls. It wasn't specifically for just little ones or anything. Neither is my channel, by the way. It was just fun. It was a good story. It didn't matter who it was for. It was for people to enjoy. It was for general audiences, pretty much. I mean, yeah, there's a few things you might do explain here and there, but that's what being a parent is, doing your damn job. We'll go back to Ichibaka's blog because he really clips out the better parts here. You know, the spice. We want the spice. And he continues, we had just purchased Lucasfilm and it started to become the talk about, okay, if you're going to bring Star Wars to life, where are we going to do that? That's better. Now I can see it. I am a little bit vision impaired. And Disney's Hollywood Studios ended up being the place because that's where it seemed to fit the best. And it was the park that needed the update the most to replace some of the experiences. So we worked on that project for a couple of years. There were artists looking at layouts of the park. You just get a big aerial view and you get a big magic marker and you start saying, what if this was here? What if that was there? Oh, gee, just like I do in Parkitect or Planet Coaster. I love building the theme parks. Absolutely. I love those sort of games. They've got a zoo one that I absolutely need. Also, friend me on Steam. I should be under Mecha Random 42. So you start blocking off these big chunks of space, and that kind of drills all the way down. You keep going until you get to the attraction level and what the offerings are. And so we did it for a couple of years, and we had an epic theater. You know, the Indiana Jones theater that was going to be the heart of Star Wars Land, that was going to go away, and we're going to plug it right there. Oh, the Mos Eisley Cantina, it was going to be right across from Star Tours. We had all kinds of great concepts with that. And see, that's what I wanted. That's what general audiences want. They don't even know these new movies exist very much, right? They might have seen them once or twice in one ear and out the other. Star Wars fans are going to know what Mos Eisley Cantina is. They're going to want to hear the little band going doo 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 doo. They're going to want that. And also, thank you so much for subscribing. If you like the content, like, subscribe, share. It really, really counts and helps and means the world to me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. He continues, "We'd gotten way down the path in our drawings, but we hadn't gotten into architectural drawings or anything. And then we got a call one day. They said, 'We got some news for you all.' And the Imagineering guys, they've heard this line many, many times during their careers, but I had never been through this. They said, well, yesterday Bob Iger met with Kathleen Kennedy, who a lot of people may know is sort of George Lucas's protege and headed up Lucasfilm. And they had a conversation, a meeting, and Kathleen Kennedy, her point of view was that there are way more Disney Star Wars stories ahead of us than behind us. So we should really think about, do we want to build a Tatooine and build what all of the 50-somethings remember Star Wars as? Or do we want to build something else that is going to appeal to all the up-and-coming generations who are going to know the new stories?" Here you go. Here's the problem with this. Now, and this is what you want my opinion on. This is why you're on my video instead of everybody else's. But watch everybody else's too. Don't just exclude them and watch mine. You need a good balance of both. Look at Cobra freaking Kai. Look at all these things. Look at these properties that actually do it well. You need a mix and a balance. You have to appeal to the people coming in for nostalgia who are going to bring their kids. You've got to have both. You have to start with Mos Eisley Cantina and have something of the new thing. You need original trilogy. You need Clone Wars. And you know me, I don't even like the Clone Wars. You need the new stuff. And I know it's good. Please don't tell me to watch it. I'm not going to. But I appreciate that you guys like it. And I know why you like it, and I know it's just not my taste because of the animation and whatever, but you need to appeal to that because Star Wars, because if I were somebody, I would see, oh, well, that's really cool, maybe I'll check out a little bit more of that because I only like the original trilogy, or I only like the sequels and I never watched the original. You need to appeal. If you have a franchise that is this old and has been going on for this many years, you need something to appease everybody. And we go through the same thing in Star Trek too. You need to have it for everyone. You need to have a little bit of both without taking away from the original, without poo-pooing on your original fan base. Because when you go in and you take away something from your original fan base and tell them they're all a bunch of ists and phobes and man babies because John Campea said we were, he calls us all, Campea? Never want to hear that word again. When you do this to your fan base, we remember, and we're not going to take our kids to this because we don't want them to see this. Also, thank you so much for subscribing. We don't want to expose, because we're hurt over this. We're tired of being insulted and you demand our money, especially if it's a theme park. You have to respect the people who have built your brand, and the new fans will come. The brand isn't just dead in the water. Come on, everybody knows Star Wars. People will still go to this as long as you don't mess it up and insult the old people, because you know what? They'll bring in the new people. The new people had no problem with Rey and Kylo and the new people and the new characters. They didn't have any problem with that. It's just the old people you're trying to insult. Stop trying to focus so much on the younger generation of people and focus a little bit more on respecting the people who built your brand, and then you can expand from there. But once you have something, don't mess it up, don't break it, don't insult it, don't destroy it, don't tear it down. And this is why we had The Last Jedi. This is why we have things in that like, oh, let the past die, kill it if you have to. Because of this mentality, because they're so focused on this new dollar that they think is going to be the next big thing, and they don't even understand the demographic they're trying to appeal to. Yeah, they want the Raylos who go around screaming, I effing hate Star Wars at the end of the movie, and they'll move on to the next franchise. They're probably already on to the next thing. What's the next thing people are busy shipping? I don't know. They're probably they're back to Marvel. They're back to those sort of things. They're on to whatever else they're obsessing over because they're fair weather fans. They come and go with the trends. They're not the diehards. And that's okay. You can have stuff for them. Guess what? They'll come to it no matter what because they're fair weather. Because they go to everything. They go to see every single movie opening night because Hollywood told them that all movies am good and negativity am bad. And this is why you have people going around saying everything's Islamophobic, because they actually don't like it, and they need to find an excuse to not like it because they don't have the vocabulary or the reasoning skills or the critical thinking to just say, hey, I don't like this thing. It's not for me. Oh, go figure. Because we have a whole generation of people who get so offended and butthurt. If you do say it's not my taste, they take it as a personal insult. And they have to give you death threats over it. And I've had them too, from Captain Marvel and from all these people. Star Trek Discovery people. Oh yeah, I get it from all sorts of fandoms. that is what's part of the problem, is that they're catering to this demographic. And I'm not saying everybody in this generation are bad people or don't have critical thinking. There's plenty of people do, especially if you're on my channel, because, hey, you're not just an NPC if you're here. And I completely lost my train of thought on that one. But yeah, what else does this article have to say? And that day, Tatooine was killed at the studios, and all those concepts were put on a shelf. I'm sure they're sitting there in a vault, and I'm sure they're going to be shown someday about what Land would have liked and what the attractions were going to be like. And they'll do that once the people of my generation who like the original trilogy, all the 40 and 50-somethings and these people, once those people aren't around to complain about it. And I think they didn't anticipate that we'd be here to complain about it, and we'd be saying, you know what? We liked Star Wars before it was for girls. We liked Star Wars when it was for everybody, because there was never a problem with it. You didn't have to come in and fix it. You didn't have to come in and change it. You just had to give us more. And give us more in the same style and way that we got the old. Just maybe update it a little bit. That's all we wanted in Star Trek. Cobra Kai did a phenomenal job. Who'd have thought in this day and age of all the big franchises that Cobra Kai would be the one, the Karate Kid would be the one? Kathy and her little agenda. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Thanks for watching! If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!